Well, all those GMs probably gonna get fired because this is a money business, and the money is about Caitlin. Well, all those GMs probably gonna get fired because this is a money business, and the money is about Caitlin Clark, who is the player who has made. Never in the history of the WNBA have we had a player force teams to get into larger arenas. I've never seen that happen, and so if you're the GM, Scott is really just icing on the cake. She has such deep range. Defense is obviously aware of where she is, and so she's getting a lot more pressure out there. And she's a fighter. She's a competitor. I wouldn't be worried about that three-point shot.
Well, should we be worried about the Indiana Fever and what they're going to be able to do this year? What are your expectations?
Roll back some of the tweets back when I said it. I don't know how we left the country without her. I said that because I felt like she is a game changer. She's moved the game and the needle in a way that we had not seen in women's.
And they're to be respected and appreciated and all of this other stuff. But I was one of those people that felt Caitlin Clark should have been on Team USA. I was thinking about the profile of women's basketball. Anything that could uplift the profile and give more notoriety.
The entire WNBA establishment just got obliterated on live television by their own legend. Lisa Leslie, basketball royalty, just walked onto ESPN's First Take and systematically destroyed every general manager, every executive, and every old guard decision-maker who's been playing politics with Caitlin Clark's career. She didn't hold back. She didn't play diplomatic. She looked straight into that camera and said what everyone's been thinking, but nobody had the guts to say, these GMs are probably going to get fired because this is a money business, and the money follows Caitlin Clark. Period. When a four-time Olympic gold medalist and three-time MVP calls for mass firings on national television, you know the entire system is collapsing from the inside out. Here's what nobody saw coming. Leslie didn't just defend Clark. She went nuclear on the entire power structure that's been systematically holding her back for 3 years. The GM survey that ranked Paige Bueckers at 33% and dropped Clark from 50% to 20% after one injury-plagued season. Leslie called it business malpractice. The Paris Olympics snub that denied Clark the global stage she deserved. Leslie said it was political, and that's a D*MN dangerous word in professional sports. She didn't dance around it. She didn't offer both sides. She said the basketball establishment made petty, jealous decisions that cost the entire sport millions of dollars and global recognition. And the silence in that ESPN studio was deafening because everyone knew she was absolutely right. But here's where Leslie's attack gets absolutely devastating. She didn't argue basketball stats or defensive ratings or shooting percentages. She argued cold, hard capitalism. And in professional sports, business always wins the argument. Listen to what she said. Never in WNBA history has one player forced teams to move games into larger arenas. Never. Clark walks into opposing cities and venues that held 8,000 people, suddenly need 20,000-seat NBA arenas just to handle the crowd. When Clark plays, tickets sell out in minutes. When she's on television, ratings spike 50 to 100%. When she got injured, viewership dropped 55% within 2 weeks. One player was responsible for over 26% of all WNBA economic activity in her rookie year alone. The league's media deal exploded from $2.2 billion to $3.1 billion, primarily because of the massive audience Clark attracts. And get this, those 15 general managers who voted in that survey collectively decided that business doesn't matter. They looked at those numbers, saw the sold-out arenas, saw the television ratings, saw the merchandise sales, saw the cultural phenomenon, and said, nah, we'll take the rookie with one good season instead. That's not basketball analysis. That's career suicide. Because here's what you cannot argue with measurable financial facts. Every single function of a general manager's job is maximized by having Caitlin Clark on your roster. Building franchise value. Clark. Generating returns for ownership. Clark. Putting butts in seats. Clark. Creating appointment television. Clark. The GMs who voted for Bueckers made an old guard basketball decision when they should have been making a future-focused business decision. Now don't get this twisted. Paige Bueckers deserves enormous respect. She was magnificent in her rookie season. Her shooting efficiency was elite, her court vision impressive, her composure at 23 was remarkable. The case for Bueckers isn't insane if you're only looking at a basketball spreadsheet right now at this exact moment. But Leslie's point cuts way deeper than that. She's talking about building franchises, not winning individual games. She's talking about the difference between being a great player and being a cultural phenomenon that transforms an entire sport. And that's exactly why her analysis landed like a sledgehammer on live television. It was a reality check that the basketball establishment has been desperately trying to avoid. But wait, it gets even more explosive. Leslie didn't stop with the GM survey. She went straight for the throat on the Paris Olympics disaster. When Stephen A. Smith asked about Clark being left off the 2024 Olympic roster, Leslie said something that should have every USA basketball executive scrambling for cover. She said, "I don't know how we left the country without her." She called Clark a game changer who moved the needle in ways women's basketball had never seen before. And then she dropped the bomb that changes everything. She said the decision was political. Political. That's not a word you throw around lightly in professional sports. That's an accusation. That's calling out the entire selection process as corrupted by jealousy, ego, and a desire to protect veterans who hadn't earned protection. Here's why that matters so much more than people realize. Lisa Leslie lived through 20 years of complex, exhausting politics in women's basketball. She knows exactly how these closed-door decisions get made. She understands the power dynamics, the favoritism, the unspoken rules about who gets opportunities and who gets frozen out. When she says the Olympic omission was political, she's not guessing. She's speaking from insider knowledge about how this system actually operates. And she just told millions of casual sports fans watching ESPN that the establishment made a petty, jealous decision that denied Clark the global Olympic stage she rightfully deserved. That adds critical context to every other way Clark has been systematically disrespected over the last 3 years. Think about the pattern Leslie just exposed to a national audience. The ESPN Top 25 list snub that ranked Clark nowhere near the top. The peer vote that somehow put her 9th among guards after a record-breaking rookie season. The GM survey dropping her to 20% after she literally saved their league. The ESPN W Top 10 list that had her at 10th. The Paris Olympic omission that kept the sport's biggest star off the biggest stage. All of it connected. All of it part of a systematic effort to diminish Clark's impact and protect the old guard's feelings. And Lisa Leslie just gave that entire pattern a name on live television: political corruption, disguised as basketball evaluation. But here's the kicker that should give every Clark supporter massive confidence right now. When they asked Leslie about Clark's early season shooting struggles, 3 of 16 from deep, 18% from three-point range, she wasn't worried at all. She smiled. She said Clark's going to figure it out because the mechanics are flawless and the talent is undeniable. And Leslie knows something the media hit pieces won't tell you. Clark is getting guarded at 94 feet. She's getting double-teamed the moment she steps off the team bus. She's facing defensive attention that no player in WNBA history has ever dealt with. A 3-time champion who watched Clark absolutely dominate at the FIBA qualifiers isn't hitting the panic button over 2 early season games. That's the perspective that gets completely lost in the toxic noise of social media. Here's what makes Leslie's entire appearance so paradigm-shifting. She did something the mainstream sports media has been failing to do for months. She told the undeniable truth without fear of political backlash. She said Clark is the most valuable player in this league economically, period. She said the GM survey represents a colossal business failure by people paid millions to know better. She said the Olympic omission was political and fundamentally unjust. She said she would take Clark over Buchers every single time because the money, the fans, and the future of the league follows Caitlin Clark. And she said it all on the biggest sports talk show in America with zero hesitation or diplomatic hedging. So here's where we stand right now. The greatest, most respected player in WNBA history just systematically destroyed the entire basketball establishment on live national television. She called out the GMs, the Olympic selectors, and every decision-maker who's been playing politics with Clark's career. She exposed the pattern of systematic disrespect. She defended Clark's talent while her shooting slump dominates headlines. She made the business case that should terrify every executive who's been betting against the Clark phenomenon. The mainstream media tried to bury this story. The old guard tried to move on and protect their chosen favorites. But Lisa Leslie just brought it all back into the spotlight with the kind of credibility and platform that changes narratives permanently. Do you think Leslie was right to publicly threaten these GMs' jobs? Or is the basketball establishment justified in their evaluations? Drop your wildest take in the comments below because I want to read every single opinion. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes, smash that like button, subscribe for more raw truth the mainstream won't give you, and hit the notification bell because this drama is just getting started.